Wally, how much was your first wholesale deal?
It was $37,500.
How long you been doing it, this bro?
About a month.
How old you, dude?
25 years old.
Boom! What up, Wholesale to Million family? Dude, I am so pumped, man, because you guys, man, I'm so happy for everyone that coming on here, closing their first deal, because I know the struggle of how hard it is. And just seeing people, regular people like you, like me and Wally, are out there taking massive action on information that they learn, executed, can get that money. You guys, I hope this interview will add a lot of value to you. And if it does, please show me and my guests some love. Smash the thumbs up. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. If you're new to the channel, man, I want to give you a warm welcome. Welcome to the Wholesale to Million family, where we are the doer and not just the talker, because a lot of people talk a lot of shit, but ain't doing shit, man. So make sure to smash that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification so when I upload a new video or when I go live, which I do every single Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard for a Friday live cold call roleplay. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, be sure to do so. Go to Khang, Khang dot, like a period, WTM. But no further ado, let's welcome my man, Wally. What's going on, buddy?
Thank you so much for having me on, man. It's a pleasure. I've actually just envisioned this. Literally, when I start watching videos, I'm like, I'm going to be on this interview one day. I promise that.
Dude, there we are. Good for you, bro. Congrats, man. Yeah. I am super happy for you, dude. That's a big wholesale deal for your first deal, bro. 37G. Bro, I remember working at a job, and I after 5 years of working there, after 5 years, not my first year, I was making $8.50. After 5 years, I finally, bro, made the most in, well, I shouldn't say in the family, because my brother was a mechanic, so he makes a little bit more. But dude, as a high school dropout, my parent was so proud of me. I finally made $30,000 a year. And I remember, man, going to my mom and dad and told them that I was going to quit that job. And they said that I made a mistake. I was making like 18 bucks an hour. They said, "Gee, Khang, they said, son, you're doing so good, man. Mom and I were making about 10 bucks an hour." So just to let you guys know. But anyways, Wally, could you share with everybody kind of a little bit about your story, man? Because this is your time, your day, man. A little bit about your story and then how you got into wholesaling.
All right. Well, I got into wholesaling because I've always been interested in real estate. The reason I really took action is because I landed a job in property management, and when you surround yourself in the real estate environment, you kind of get more motivated. So my buddy hits me up and said, "Hey, have you ever heard of wholesaling? You know, this is our last chance of retirement. Let's just go at it 100 miles per hour." I was like, you know what do we got to lose? So I watched a lot of your videos, man. I listened to all your podcasts, and then Jerry Norton as well. Yeah. I joined all of your Friday Live cold calls, so got some knowledge there. And actually, I wanted to keep the costs down on marketing, so I just wanted to test the waters. So what I did, I went to the dollar store, man. I bought 20 billboards for my first round, just testing it out. Yep. And I put those out, and there's a bandit sign. Is how I landed the deal. So about a week and a half later, I see I got a missed call on my Google Voice number, because I use that separate number, right? Sure. And I call this guy back, and he goes, "Yeah, man, I have a property I'd like to sell. It's a duplex." And I went through the whole spiel of, what's the condition of it, why are you looking to sell, and we got down to the part where I was asking him about the mortgage. I was like, "Hey, man, considering that you owe," I saw how much you owed. I said, "Considering you owe an X amount, take into account what you'd be walking away with." So let me give you the facts first. So the ARV on that property was 750 to around 800,000. This is in Queen Anne, Seattle, so I'm sure you're familiar with that area. The rehab was about 120, and we got it under contract for 290. So so when I was talking to the seller, I was about to get down to the numbers, and I followed your rule: never give out the price first.
Hell yeah.
So he goes, I was about to offer him a round ballpark of 450. He goes, well, I'd be happy to walk away with 3. And I was like, man, this is a deal. 300,000. And you know, with the rehab and the ARV, there's a big spread there. So he referred me to his realtor. He's like, yeah, go ahead and talk to my realtor about this. Here's the thing though. He had a realtor friend, you know, help him out with it. He had it under contract with a realtor. You know, he's about to represent him. So the house is off market. It was going to go to market in about a week. So I was like, I got to get this deal ASAP. So I call up the realtor. You know, I do the little walkthrough, and he goes, he gave. Basically, he asked me for proof of funds, right? This realtor was like, he was the most difficult guy to work with. So I turn around and I asked my buddy who flips homes. You know, he's 27, flips a lot of homes, and you know, I figured he could mentor me throughout this deal. I said, hey man, can you know, provide me a proof of funds letter? He provides me a letter through his lender that he goes to. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I send that to the realtor, and he goes, this is inadequate, you know, because he called the lender, man. Like, usually they don't do that.
Yep.
So at that point, I was like, all right, man, the only way I can do this deal is if I brought you in, my buddy, right? A good friend of mine. So he showed him real proof of funds. And then he goes to asking, you know, what are you comfortable putting a deposit down? You know, earnest money. I was like, well, how much do you want? Because, you know, I didn't want to give out a number. He goes, 20K. I'm like, well, shit, I don't have an extra 20K laying around to risk, right? And get this, he gave us 0-day feasibility because he knew we were going to wholesale it. Like, two young guys walk on the property about to buy a house, you know, some fishy's going on, right? So the reason he gave us 0-day feasibility, because he knew he was going to wholesale it. So we turn around, we're like, okay, why would we put down, we negotiated down to 10K earnest. So we're like, why would we put down 10K if with no 0-day feasibility? You know, no investor is going to ever do that without due diligence. So he gave us 8 days. So during that 8 days, we were on a time constraint. You know, my buddy's very, you know, he has a high network of people. I knew if I took this deal on my own, I have 8 days, you know, to get it out. And I don't know if I'll have a serious buyer because they had serious foundation issues. Like, we were thinking that we might have to, you know, level up the house and do all this other stuff to it. So he brings in a buyer who is also, he has a real estate company and whatnot. So he brought in that buyer. Sorry, I just wrote down some notes. And he's interested in it, right? He gives a verbal agreement, but he doesn't sign. So my buddy, you know, he risks his own 10K earnest. And, you know, just a couple weeks before we closed, I called the seller and I said, hey man, so yeah, we are in the process of the deal. He goes, you know, I was like, yeah, we just got done with our inspection period. And the seller goes, you know, Wally, I actually have some wiggle room on the deal. He's like, yeah, I got some wiggle room. And we call him back and we renegotiated. Like, I kind of took advantage of that. So we offered 280. We settled at 290. So You know, it's crazy though. While I was on the phone with him, I asked him, "Do you have any other properties you'd like to sell?" He goes, "Yeah, I have another home and an 8-unit complex." And you know, the reason he's liquidating all his assets is because coronavirus, you know, hurt his
Mm.
business. He had a coffee shop business. Since this is just a big like project, I'm gonna check out his other 8-unit complex and probably try to throw in an offer on that as well.
Wait. Okay, hold on a second. 8-unit complex. Okay.
Oh, sorry, that's a whole different story. The house is
Right. No, dude. So is that also in Seattle?
Yeah. It's the duplex was in Queen Anne. This
Okay.
8-unit complex is in West Seattle,
Dude,
where I live.
if you get that under contract, bro, send it to me. I would like to check it out to see if I would be interested in buying it, bro, because I'm looking for some multifamily.
Okay. It's definitely fixer upper. Like my partner.
I mean, dude, you know how we do this game, dude. As long as the number makes sense, bro.
Right. 50,
So yeah,
50.
so if you do get that under contract, man, if you want to send me the info, man, see if we can do something out, because
Okay.
I'm looking to buy some multifamily.
Sounds good, man.
Good.
Are you in the Seattle area too?
Dude, bro, come on, man.
I think I know that.
Yeah, man.
All right, cool.
Cool, dude. Okay, man. So, Wally, let's talk about this deal, dude. It seems like there's some really good spread. Okay, so realtor, for those of you who deal with realtor, man, realtors are tough to deal with, right? Sometimes you get an easy one, they're willing to work with you, but dude, sometimes majority of them don't understand the whole wholesaling, investing a little bit. So they, you know, it's really tough to deal with. Okay, so let me break this down for those of you who got a little confused. You went to the dollar store, bro. How many bandit signs did you buy?
Like 20.
You guys, listen to me, man. Start where you are. You don't got 20 bucks, dude? There's other things that you can do, which is, you know, drive for $1, walk for $1, drop for $1, take down property address, get some paper with you, put We Buy Houses, tape it on their door, right? Cold call. There's other things that you can do. And bro, I mean, when I first started out, man, I bought one of those cheap stickers that you put on. I also bought the magnet, and I bought the cheap stickers that you can actually put on your windshield. And dude, I put it on all by myself. We Buy Houses, and then my big phone number. I put it on my 1997 Honda Accord with paint coming off, and I put it on my 2006 Honda Accord too. And I remember my family and my friend were looking at him, you know, they would kind of laugh because it's kind of a joke, right? Because who calls someone driving a 1997 Honda Accord with paint coming off that can afford a piece of property, right?
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't understand, so that's why people that call from a bandit sign, you know, when you look at a bandit sign, dude, it looks kind of ghetto, to be honest, right? The little bandit sign there. So people that call that, it means that, you know, they're in a situation, which means there's a lot of motivation, desperation for someone to call from a bandit sign to see if someone would buy their property. So anyways, man, that's a great motivation there, bro. You know, just with 20 bandit sign. Now, where did you put out, dude?
I hit him in West Seattle, man, and that's where the seller lives.
Gotcha.
But you know, I put him out everywhere at this point.
Okay, good. Well, the thing is, you know what? The reason why I asked that, bro, because people don't know where to put them.
Like location wise.
Yeah, location, like busy intersection or what we're talking about.
Yeah, intersection, a place where somebody can drive and stop and have a minute to look at it. You know, you don't want to put it like in the middle of speeding traffic. You know, yeah. Stoplights, stop signs, roundabouts work.
Good. And what do you put on the bandit sign, bro?
I just had We Buy Houses.
And then your phone number
on there. Yeah, for cash.
Good, man. Yeah. a lot of you are complicating. Like, you want to put the whole spiel on there. No closing costs for you, blah, blah, blah. Dude, that's just too much to read when someone is just, stopping by or stop for a little bit. Yeah, so I typically put We Buy Houses right there. You can put We Buy Houses, cash, and then just straight up your phone number. So when the seller calls you, Wally, what did he want for the property? You said 300, right?
Yeah, before I even gave him a number, he was ready with 300.
Okay, and then so you guys lock it up on a contract for 300 with 10K.
No, we were negotiated down all the way to 290. That's the final price we got.
Oh, so you lock it up under contract at 290, not at 300.
No, at 300. Sorry, at 300. And then he was like, I got some wiggle room because we were taking a little too long on our inspection, but we were really looking for a buyer.
Right.
So we got it back down to 290.
Right. But you lock it up on the contract originally at 300K.
Correct.
All right. Okay. And then you did your inspection. At the time that you did your inspection, dude, and you renegotiate at that time, did you have a buyer already or no?
Yeah. We had 2 buyers lined up already.
Okay.
Like the same day.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So you got 8 days inspection.
Yeah.
But on the same day that you lock it up on a contract, you already had a buyer at and how much did you send it out to your buyer for?
375.
You sent it out to your buyer
No,
for
365. Sorry, 365.
Gotcha. So you sent it out to your buyer for 365, dude. That is a 65K spread, baby.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
my partner was saying that we could have sold it for 4 because there's such a big spread.
Yep.
But we had to get rid of it fast because with realtor we didn't want to push any buttons.
Of course, I understand, man.
Yeah.
But I think your partner is right. Yeah. So 8 days. So same day you got okay. So you got a buyer that was ready to go at 365.
Yeah.
So buyer has done the walkthrough and all that already.
Correct.
And then all of a sudden the seller calls you and said, I have some wiggle room.
Well, I called him. I honestly don't remember why I called him.
Yeah.
Just, build more rapport.
Sure.
And just tell him where we are in the process. And I just asked him randomly if he had any other properties. And he did.
Right. But what I'm asking you, bro, is that did you call him to renegotiate or he just called you and said, hey, because he was kind of concerned.
So this is all through the realtor. We called the realtor and was like, there's such a big job on the foundation. We got to be at around 280. And the seller told the realtor, 290 is good. So we're like, all right, 290 is fine.
Gotcha. But at the time you already have a buyer locked in at 365 already.
Yeah, it was a verbal promise that we'll give it to him for that amount.
I got it.
Agreed to it.
Got it, bro. Got it. Now you guys put down 10K earnest, and how much did the buyer put down?
So here's the thing. So the buyer did not sign within that 10-day inspection. He was waiting on whether to see if he wanted to pay cash or refinance it. So the buyer didn't sign until closing, dude. My partner put down his own 10K, risked it. And then when we created an LLC, we sold the LLC to the buyer. The 10K earnest was already there. So in the check that I got,
yep,
he included the 10K earnest. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why we made an LLC. So this realtor's already been, very difficult. And if at coming closing, the seller would have saw that we were making that, 75K assignment, we were afraid that he might not sign off on it. I know usually it's not a big deal, but that's why we did it. So the buyer came to the table with 290, right? To escrow, 290. After escrow closed, he turned around and paid us on the back end, like out of his pocket.
Okay, hold on. Okay, Wally, hold on a second. My first question to you is: Have your buddy done a wholesale deal before, or does he just straight up fix and flip?
He's done a couple before, but his main thing is fix and flips.
Okay, so here's my next question to you.
Yeah.
So, okay. So the buyer actually wrote you guys a personal check outside of escrow?
Yes.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo, bro, for six, dang, bro. Because obviously the buyer, you guys could have not wrote the check,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
let me help you, bro. Just to make sure, dude, that this doesn't happen again, dude. All right?
Yeah, I don't plan on it.
Because not every buyer is, you guys, not every buyer is legit and keeps their word, because you got to understand, man, this is business, right? There are good people. I believe there's tons of good people than bad people, but there are bad people. There are bad people that won't pay you, or they're trying to renegotiate with you. Oh, you know, after the closing, everything is signed, and all of a sudden they'll be like, yeah, you know what, man, I went to see the property, and dude, it needs a lot of work. But at that time, right, they try to renegotiate with you. What are you going to do about it? Right? There's
Right.
nothing that you can do about it. The reason why I point this out, dude, because when I first started, I made the same mistake. And the buyer would have to pay me outside of escrow and was trying to renegotiate my assignment fee down for like $5,000. So
Okay.
okay, bro, let me help you a little bit here, dude. So you locked this property up on a contract. Let's just say everything negotiated. You down at the 290.
Mm-hmm.
You found the buyer ready to go through 365.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your buddy put down a 10,000 earnest money.
Because we waived feasibility, yes.
Yep. So after the 8 days past inspection, you guys are now that 10K becomes hard, which means if you don't move forward to buy the property, or you can't find a buyer, whatever the case may be, you lose the 10K.
Right.
Okay, hold on a second. So you found the buyer at 365. So you're saying that the buyer wouldn't sign an assignment agreement?
No, he would.
Wait, no, okay. I guess, let me rephrase the question.
Yeah.
When you told the buyer, hey, you guys can buy it at 365, you're all good to go, did you send the buyer an assignment agreement?
This was my partner's buyer that he's worked for many years. I don't know what the delay was. I think he was, you know, he promised us he'd buy it, and his verbal confirmation to him was very good to my partner. But I don't know why it took so long, and that's why I was like bugging my partner. I was like, "What's up with your buyer?" You know, he literally just signed at closing, man.
Wait, hold on a second. So your buyer signed an assignment agreement at closing?
Yeah, it wasn't. We sold the LLC to him. It wasn't an assignment agreement per se.
I got you, bro. I got it, dude. So basically, this whole time here, you guys basically just take his verbal commitment that at the time of closing, you guys are just going to sell your LLC over to him, and he just sign it.
Right.
Okay, so basically he's going to come in. Okay, I got you. You guys, please don't make this mistake, you guys. And let me tell you, especially, you know, this. I know a lot of you don't have 10K to risk it. I know some of you probably even go borrow some money, right? To risk the 10K, because you could potentially make 65K. But you don't need to risk it. So here's what I'm going to help you out. You don't need to risk the 10K. So what you're going to do is that, and obviously the buyer got no skin in the game. Now listen, I know some of you have good friends, you take verbal agreement, you work with them for a long time. I understand that, you know, trust and all that. But let me tell you something. Sometimes things just happen in life where it's uncontrollable. So let's just say that, hey, I'm good. I'm telling you guys this because it happened. And this is why I don't believe in partnership. Like I'd rather go slow and go by myself instead of having a partners and do business together. Because to me, it's like a relationship. It's like a marriage. And when we know it, dude, a lot of marriage don't last long. So when you see a marriage that passed, 5 year, 10 year, whatever, like, whoa, right? Because, and I've heard so many stories about partnerships that goes bad, because let me tell you guys something. Because sometimes Wally, let's just say I know Wally for 10 years. I trust him, right? No problem. I trust the guy. He gave me his word. I trust him. But what if something goes on with his family, his wife, or, for some reason, and then he got into a certain point where he couldn't even make that decision anymore, because now they go through some trouble where he couldn't make a decision, even though he wants to keep his word, but because some unforeseen problem happened, he couldn't. So guess what, dude? Now you are gonna lose your 10K. You see?
I agree.
So I'm not saying that Wally won't keep his word, but he has no choice, because he's now putting in, maybe it could have been a divorce or whatever the case may be, or he got into an accident or one of the family. Like, he's just not in positions, a state of mind to move forward to make this purchase. Things happen in life. That's what I'm telling you guys. So here's what it is, dude. If the buyer is solid, what he should have done is he should have signed an assignment agreement and at least put the 10K down with you guys. So that way, when you lose the 10K, it's not your 10K, but it's his 10K, if it's a solid buyer, right?
Right. It was a weird one, man.
I'm not saying
it was
obviously
risky.
he's solid, he moved forward to close on it. But you should, but you should protect yourself, man. Sign an assignment agreement. And let me tell you something, Wally. When you assign the assignment agreement over to your end buyer, dude, the seller do not see how much you made.
Right, but it's the realtor chose his own escrow. That's the thing. They can disclose that, can't they?
Okay, so here's another mistake that you guys make, is that you let the sellers pick their own escrow agent, and yes, that agent probably have relationship with the escrow agent, but the escrow agent, dude, cannot disclose whatever is going on between you and the end buyer, because
Really?
that's between you guys. But you know what, man? I'm just saying, technically, that's how it's supposed to be. But because of maybe the agent have a good relationship with the escrow, maybe they could leak the information.
That's what we were afraid.
That's why it's very important. That's why it's very important. As a buyer, you have to use your own escrow agent. And this is how you go about it, man, in the future. If you're going to deal with an agent, just say, hey, listen, the reason why we want to pick our escrow agent, because we work with them for a long time, and they actually save, we've done a lot of deals with them, and they actually save us some money on the closing costs and on the fees. And, and tell them this is not a small purchase. It really helps us out. It doesn't affect the seller, but on our end, it's going to really helps us out a lot, to make the number works. So that's how you would position yourself as a buyer. You would tell them that escrow agent was able to save you a little bit of discount on the closing costs and on the fees. And I highly recommend that you use the escrow agent that you're familiar with, but so that way, you don't be taken advantage of, because, dude, some escrow agent, if they're not good, dude, they can really, really mess up a deal. Like, they can technically expose things and things like that. But just in the future, dude, when you assign it, your seller do not know how much you guys make.
Yeah, no, I understand with that whole routine. I would have went that route, but
Sure.
With this agent, man, he was a little sketchy and he was hard to work with. So we had to make every loophole we can to get this deal. It's like
I hear you, bro.
It's impossible without the way we did it. So
I hear you, bro. I hear you.
Yeah.
Just because you guys went his escrow agent, you didn't want to assign. They see the assignment agreement. They're gonna share with the seller, and it's all gonna blow up.
Exactly. Yeah.
I hear you, bro. Yep. I hear you, bro. No problem. So, anyways, you guys, I hope that this adds some value to you guys. Any one of you that are listening, I hope that this inspires and motivates. Obviously, Wally went to a dollar store, put up some bandit sign, man. Dude, I should title this $1 to 30 to 65, 65K, man. How to make 65 G's from $1.
How to make a 65,000, I don't know, return or something.
Yeah.
% return, I don't know.
$1 investment for 65,000. Dude, that sounds like a good title to me, man. So anyways, Wally, man, for those that are starting out, man, that trying to, also hustling, grinding, and trying to get their first deal, man, what are some things that you learn? What are some tips, advice that you can give to the viewer, bro?
Definitely. Well, what I did is lock myself in for a whole month, input this information, make sure you're very familiar with it. And then the very important thing is get out of your comfort zone and take massive action. You know, talk to sellers. You know, the law of averages says the more times you do something, the more you'll get a result. So, you know, if you're talking to 2 people, there's a 50-50 chance. But if you talk to 100, there's, you know, 10 people in there. You know, take massive action, stay motivated, stay positive. It really works. You know, it's a matter of time and when.
I love that, bro. I love that, man. And I want to add to that. You see, to have something you never had, you must be willing to do things you've never done. And when you do things you've never done, dude, it's going to get a little bit uncomfortable. What happened to a lot of people is they get out of their comfort zone, they try something, right? And it got really uncomfortable, so they go back into their comfort zone. And the only way that will push you to continue is that you got to want this as bad, just like Eric Thomas says, man, you got to want this as bad as you want to breathe. Because unless you're unhappy or unsatisfied with your situation or your circumstances or your life, I promise you, it doesn't matter how much you say, you will never be able to do it. I've seen people make New Year resolution about losing weight or hit X amount, but they're so comfortable, right? That they try it and they'll be like, you know what? I'm okay, right? I'm okay. I'm okay with my job. I'm okay with making what it is, because pushing it to the next level is extremely hard. So for those of you who's watching, I want to let you know that obviously it's possible. Wally did it. I've interviewed other people, just regular did it with $1. If you don't have $1, you can't find to go get $1. That makes you howler, dude. And forget you, man. Just stick with that JOB. And man. And the thing in life, you listen, results or excuse, one or the other. You can't have both. Some people do whatever it takes to make things happen. Other people come up with all kinds of excuse to stay where they're at. Instead of saying I can't, they'll start saying, how can I get that money? Wally, dude, I want to say, man, thank you so much, bro, for taking your precious time to jump on and do this with me, man, to inspire and motivate other people and to get their first deal. I appreciate it, brother.
Thank you for having me on.
So, Wally,
I do have one question, though.
Yeah, man. How do people connect with you? And then we can get to your question.
Oh, yeah. I use Instagram mostly. My @ handle is It's Wally 3, ITZWALLY 3.
Awesome. I'll put Wally link right below. For those of you who recently closed your first wholesale deal, hit me up on Instagram with the money. Show me the picture of the wire, the checks, or the cash. I don't really care. Send it over to me. Show me the proof. Love to get you onto the channel. And like I said, the reason I love doing this is to inspire and motivate others to do the same for themselves. So what's your question, bro?
What do you think about radio advertisements, you know, to get inbound leads? Have you ever heard of that? I mean, I'm sure you have.
Yeah, bro. So I have heard about radio. I actually have heard someone actually spend money on radio ad, and they, listen, man, that's just from one person. They didn't get that good. They did not get that good of a result. But one thing I can share with you that in my mastermind, dude, one thing that's blowing up right now is TV ad, commercial on TV ad.
Okay.
I don't think people watch TV anymore, but dude, some of my CG, but it costs a lot. I think you got to put like a $15,000 or $20,000 deposit. They expect you to spend 10 or 15K or so a month, or 5 to 10. I'm not sure exactly what the amount. You know, it's more than a regular average people can afford. But I heard the TV ad is killing it because the old people are still watching the TV.
Facts. That's true. And I was thinking with radio, I target like news channels because, you know, older people are more inclined to be more political, and those people tend to have money and properties. So, or I was thinking maybe a billboard. I don't know, but I do want to invest back into some marketing that, you know, that generates inbound while I'm doing cold calling, you know?
You got it, bro. So I can only tell you what's the cheapest I'm using right now that got me results. It's cold calling and text messaging. That's what we're using. So what you need to do, bro, is with the cash that you have, maybe hire on higher on it. Because cold call, dude, it can be exhausting, dude.
Oh, very. Very.
It's exhausting, bro. So what you need to do is maybe you know, get a VA or whatever it is, get you tired some cold call. I would do some text messaging, bro. That's probably the cheapest, and we seem to get really good results from it, man.
Awesome, man. I'll look into that. Thank you.
Yeah. So for those of you who looking to want to do text blast, go ahead and use this website if you want to check it out, bro. I mean, it's batch lead, BATCH lead, LEADS.I as in India, and then IO, and then use my promo code WTM, and you get 500 texts for $1. So when you sign up, you get 500 texts for just $1, and then after that, obviously, if you like it, you can continue, but the price is going to be a little bit different. If you don't like it, you can disconnect. But that's who we use. Text messaging, it works really, really well. We just start recently using them, and it works really well, man. It's cheap. So text messaging, cold calling, that's all we do. Anyways, Wally, any last word, man? I'm gonna let you wrap it up. Any last word for the family, bro?
I got 2 words. Stay consistent. Stay consistent.
And let's go get that money.
Let's get it.
All right, Wally, thanks a lot, bro. Later, dude.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bro.